Yes, this Saturday, talkSPORT brings you commentary of the huge unified heavyweight world title rematch between Usyk and Fury. It's live from Saudi Arabia. Our team out in Riyadh will be bringing you exclusive content and updates all week, plus our YouTube watch along on Fight Night will bring you closer to the action than ever before. Join us now to look ahead to Saturday's fight. Is former European bantamweight champion Spencer Oliver alongside Gareth A. Davis. They are both live in Saudi Arabia. Boys, hello, good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, wherever it is for you. Are you all right, Spence?
Yeah, very well, mate. Gareth A. Davis is not here yet, but good to speak to you guys. You know, we're here at the Runway Boulevard here in Saudi Arabia. It's like spectacular surroundings here. It really is. There's like aeroplanes all around us that have been transformed into arcades, restaurants, all sorts going on. So yeah, it's the grand arrivals day to here today, and the excitement is building big time. There's a real atmosphere buzzing around here, but it's like being in the middle of an airport. It's the weirdest thing with these planes everywhere and fairground rides, and it's just like spectacular surroundings. It's mental.
Are you sure you just haven't landed, Spence?
I'm telling you, mate, it feels like I'm at the airport. I was like, hold on a minute, we ain't even done the fight yet. What's going on? But yeah, these planes look absolutely fantastic.
Let me ask you, you've been over to Riyadh, Saudi quite a few times now. Is it different every single time you go over there?
Andy, it's honestly, the transformation has been absolutely insane. The first time we come was Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz when they had that fight out here in Saudi Arabia. That was in Jeddah, actually. We're in Riyadh now, but I mean, the transformation of the country is absolutely insane. It really is. It's like every time we come, we was here for Bivol Beterbiev back in October. We've come back to the same place, and it's changed again. This building's gone up everywhere. It is growing at a rapid rate. It really is.
Spence, can you feel the excitement building now? So obviously it's fight week now. How excited are you for it?
Darren, do you know what? I'm absolutely buzzing for it. So we've been in the Fighters Hotel. Yesterday we got at the Fighters Hotel at 9 a.m. and stayed there till 7 p.m. So we saw everything that was going on. The fighters were arriving at different times. We interviewed a lot of the undercard there, and then all of a sudden Alexander Usyk made his entrance. Boy, I've got to tell you, there's an aura around him. He had his big team with him with them silly tracksuits on. They always turn up with really strange tracksuits. They were all there. The entourage was huge, but I've got to say, he looked big, and I've got to say, he looked very, very athletic. There was a real buzz around him. Then Tyson Fury turned up maybe an hour later, looked very slim, very focused, but more edgy. Like, didn't want to socialise with the media, didn't want to speak to anyone, went straight to the lifts, straight up in the lifts, and yeah, there's a real edge about him. Like, he's been in training camp out in Malta, and he said it's been like doing a jail term. He's been out there, he's locked himself away from his family, from Paris. He hasn't spoke to Paris, actually, or his kids for 3 months because of what he's going through. Like, you've seen him, he's grown a big beard now. He's stripped it back to bare basics. He's trying to rediscover some of that old form, and he needs to, by the way, on Saturday night to beat Alexander Usyk. Fascinating fight here as we look forward to Saturday.
And that's what I was going to ask you, Spence, because obviously it was the first time that he tasted defeat. He has been humbled a little bit because no person who I spoke to thought that he'd lose that fight. Do you sense something different about him as well? Do you feel like he's almost had to go, do you know what, kind of look at himself and go, I need to be better, rather than all the games we used to see him do before?
Absolutely, Darren, and I think, you know, a lot of people are talking about, you know, what has Tyson Fury got to do different? Well, he's got to establish himself early. He's got to do what he should have done in the last fight and take the centre of the ring, establish that jab. Let's see more head movement and match Alexander Usyk for combinations, because if he can't do that, it's going to be a real tough night. And I think the million-dollar question is, you know, is there a slight decline coming from Tyson Fury? And if there is, then he's got big problems, you know, because Alexander Usyk, as I say, just looks in fantastic shape. Forget that he's a year older than Fury at 37. The guy lives the life, and I think that is, you know, that is something that needs to be looked at this stage of both of their careers.
Spence, I'm going to read you out a tweet that Turki Alalshikh has not long tweeted. I don't know if you're aware of it. If you are or you're not, I'd still like to get your view. It says, for the first time ever, an AI-powered judge will monitor the fight, free from bias and human error brought to you by The Ring. This is groundbreaking experiment. It won't have any impact on the official result. It debuts during the biggest fight of the century. Are you aware of that, firstly, and what do you make of that?
Absolutely, I am aware of it. We've only just found out about that, and I sort of like totally understand that. And I think that that could be something that would make a huge change in the judging with boxing, and these controversial decisions that are being made, the terrible decisions that affect people's futures and livelihoods, and their families' futures. So I think that AI introduction will be a very good thing, because I've seen that tested before, and it actually works, and it's come up with different results. They've done it on one fight when we worked out in the Cayman Islands, and Roy Jones Jr. had a boy that was boxing. His kid got beat but clearly won the fight, and the judges give it the other decision. But when they done the AI checks and the punch stats and the shots that landed, the shots that didn't land, he'd clearly won the fight by about 8 rounds to 4, I think it was, something like that. So it does work. It definitely works, and it'd be interesting to see.
I was going to ask, sorry, because there's a time delay, so we talk over each other. Sorry, I was going to ask: is it an actual science? Is it a fact? For argument's sake, with football, you are either offside or you're not. Okay, but there are some times where it's a foul and it's down to interpretation. Is boxing as simple as if you land more punches, you will win the fight? Does anything else come into it? Can you sort of think, well, he's fought better, he's danced about better, he's made himself, or is it literally just as simple as if you land more blows, you should win the fight?
Well, listen, it's subjective scoring, and it's what you like, and are you scoring for defensive moves and footwork and stuff like that. But ultimately, the way that it turns out is, if I land 300 punches in a fight and you land 200 punches in a fight, surely I should be the winner. And yeah, you get shots that would be classed as a shot that's landed that may be half a blow, and then there's power punches, etc., etc. One guy might land 100 power punches to the other guy's 50 power punches, then you'd expect him to win. But it doesn't always turn out like that. I think that the judging is something that really needs to be looked at in boxing, because the bad decisions, that it's becoming so frequent now within boxing that things do need to change, and we keep talking about that, like judges getting pulled in front of certain commissions, etc., and it never seems to happen. So maybe AI is the way forward. Maybe that may be the changing, things are changing in the world, and that might be the future of boxing.
The only problem I'd have with that is if, let's just fast forward now to Saturday evening and Usyk wins the fight, and then afterwards Fury comes out and goes, yeah, but AI suggested I win it, let's have another fight. You'd be like, oh my God, here we go again.
Listen, I get that, Andy, but I think we're way off that at the moment. I think it's something that they're just looking at and experimenting with. But I'm just saying, I think that it could be something that could become permanent in boxing later on in the future. Not right now. I think it's all just an experiment right now. That won't take an effect on the decision on Saturday night.
We're taking AI out of it. How do you see the fight going, Spence? Who do you think wins? And if they are going to win, if it's Fury or Usyk, how are they going to win?
Like I said, when I saw both fighters turn up at the hotel there, and I was leaning towards Usyk that was going to win this fight anyway. And I just think that even though he's a year older, he just looks the fresher of the two, and the combination punching, the angles that he works, and the little things that he does different for me, and the way he dominated and controlled the space early on and used his strength, his lack of size, but his strength to his advantage. I was like, yeah, Usyk. When I saw them both yesterday, confirmed it even more. I fancy Alexander Usyk. I think there's a real aura around him, and he just looked great to me. And I think that, I fancy Alexander Usyk to win. It's going to be a classic fight, by the way. I think it's one of them will go right down to the wire again, and it'll be a points decision. But I just fancy Usyk might just have that edge, because I think that Tyson Fury could be slightly on the decline, because we've not seen that Tyson Fury since before the Wilder fights, and I think that that's what it is.
Spence, I read, I think it was this morning, that Tyson Fury's not spoke to his wife for 2 months. I don't know if he's had a row with her, or he's just doing that in preparation for the fight. I've never heard of a fighter losing because he was talking to his missus on the phone too much. What do you make of that?
Like I said to you, he's trying to rediscover something. He's had to go soul searching, and perhaps that's what he felt that he needed to do, lock himself away from the comforts of his own life, and that's what he's done. That's why he went out to Malta and he stripped it back. And it's not just his wife; he hasn't spoken to his kids, and it's not 2 months; it's actually 3 months.
Oh,
and you can see that it's got to him now, because in the build-up here, actually, guys, he's been talking about he's ready now. This week's going to be a long week for him. He just wants to get the fight on right now. Preparation is done, and he mentioned it 2 or 3 times. I want to get home. I want to see my wife, and I want to see my kids. He's struggling with that. That is for sure.
Okay. Spence, just before I let you go, what are you doing for the rest of the night? Is it night? It's dark there. I'm guessing it's not early morning. It's night there. What are you doing for the rest of the day?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, It's definitely night now, and then we've got the grand arrivals going on now. So this is the first time that we're going to get an opportunity to speak to all the fighters properly and give them the interviews and whatnot, and get some insight into what's going on Saturday night. So looking forward to this main event, especially. You know, it's a big one, isn't it? It's the biggest fight in boxing right now. Can Tyson Fury rewind the clock? Can he rediscover something and turn this around? If he does, by the way, he'll put his names up there with the all-time greats of heavyweight boxing. That is for sure. But he's got a tough task on Saturday night against Alexander Usyk. But yeah, it's happening here in the Runway Boulevard, which is an insane setting, man. Like I say, planes everywhere and whatnot. It's just, you know, every time you come to Saudi, there's something different, and this is spectacular.
Just before I let you go, you were doing comms for talkSPORT on our boxing YouTube channel. Is it Lucas Rowerig was fighting the weekend, and you were doing comms on it? And I saw that over the weekend, and I'm not just saying it. I thought your commentary was utterly exceptional. It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it.
I really appreciate that, Andy. Yeah, Lucas Rowerig, he's brilliant, mate. He's a star of the future. Cruiserweight kid that George Groves has got, and he went out there and he boxed a former English champion, and he went out there and absolutely dismantled him. It was an unbelievable performance. Ambitious debut for him. The kid had 20 fights and won 14 of them or something like that, and it was very, very ambitious, but he went out there and he just done a job. So keep an eye on him. Yeah. Lucas Rowerig, George Groves has got a good one there.
Yeah, he looks big, he looks strong. Listen, I wish I could say the same for you, big and strong. But either way, you are fantastic. Thanks so much for coming on, Spence. We love what you do for talkSPORT. Keep up the great work, and we'll speak to you in a bit.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Great speaking to you. Cheers, guys.
There you go. I don't know if you've seen it. He's co-coms. I don't know if he does that anyway. I'm looking at Ryan. Does he do lots of co-coms for talkSPORT? He does. Okay. It was just brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant.
He's brilliant anyway, Spencer, isn't he?
Yeah, but I'd just give him lead comms on it. I think he's fantastic. Yeah. Really, really great.
Look at you trying to hire people and sack people at the same time.
Who do you want to sack?
Well, you're saying he should get the lead. So
someone's the lead. Got to sack, yeah. Joint co-lead is what I meant. Not anyone getting sacked. That was a look ahead to UsykFury 2. Thanks to our friends at DAZN.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.